Try and make more sense of this. LCLILING Town is our correspondent joining us live from Newtown, Connecticut. She's been there ever since this deadly shooting spree happened, and it shocked not just that little town there, but also the entire country and the wider world. We heard President Obama speaking there. Of all the things you do as a president, I guess this has to be one of the saddest things, to address a community that's in mourning, to try and make sense of this senseless series of events that have happened there in the last couple of days. What did Obama say, and how are folks there reacting to what he said?
Well, yes, this was a poignant speech by Obama as he described the events in his own words at one point in the speech, no doubt comforting those attending the vigil. Many of them are leaving the Newtown High School venue at this time, some 20 minutes after the vigil ended. Now, he talked about children waiting for the good guys, following instructions, and for many here today, the good guys came following that Friday morning massacre. He gave tribute to the first responders, the good guys who responded to the shooting and who were among those attending. He also spoke to parents in the audience about parenting and the challenges. And then towards the end of his remarks, the most touching and poignant moment of all was when he started reading one by one the names of the 20 children who were killed. It's believed that the president had personally written most of his remarks here tonight. There were about 900 people here. The place was near at capacity. I understand people there were long lines and people were turned away at some point. The audience had also overflowed into the gymnasium by the main room, and this is, of course, those who made it in. I understand also that the president had met privately here this afternoon at this location with families of the victims, and that was partly why the vigil was delayed and his speech was delayed, because he was extending those meetings with families.
And the folks there in Newtown, they've been through a lot in the last 3-4 days. I mean, there's been unspeakable horror and grief that they've had to endure. And almost like adding insult to injury, we had this crazy hoax call and come evacuation that happened at the St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church this morning when Mass was happening, when people were grieving and crying. And you were there witnessing these events. Talk us through what you saw. I mean, people's emotions, there were raw emotions on display, and it was almost like somebody was trying to play this crazy crank call on people who are already going through immeasurable grief.
And exactly, that is how many people feel about what happened today around midday. It was a false alarm that just came afternoon when many were still attending Sunday service at St. Rose Church. And of course, you know,